Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network as we close one chapter of our Battlefield race journey and open another still with the PRL. We are coming to you live from Kentucky Speedway for the honoring those who served 125 for round 12 of the Precision Racing League American iRacing Sunday Series, courtesy of HighTorqueTexas.com and the Brake Mod at thebrakemod.com. Well, I am your commentator, Sean Zulu. I am joined by my good friend and producer Dave Everly. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Sean. Ready to see who's going to come away as the Season 6 champion here in the American iRacing Sunday Series with the Precision Racing League. This is our second season with them, so anxious to see who's going to pull out the championship and walk away with the crown here tonight.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. And so far in points, 88 of James O'Brien has been the leader in points for the last, I should say, 6 to 7 races, with the absence of the one of Pataska defending champion this season, last season's champion, season 5. So, yep, it will be very interesting to see exactly what happens here tonight, because tonight, once again, ladies and gentlemen, is round 12, or race 12 of 12. Final race of the season here tonight, Kentucky Speedway. They're honoring those who served 125 by our very own here, the PRL, Sammy Holmes, who just came back for last week's race, or yes, you said before last week's race, Texas. But actually, speaking of last week's race, I'm going to get a recap here from the top 10 from that race. We did have the 3 of Dale Robertson did bring that one home. He is from Voltage Racing. James O'Brien came out second. Underdog Motorsports. Patrick Mercier, Champs with Mercy, came out third. Cotton Lane, Ford Lane Motorsports fourth. Craig Hawkins fifth from C&E Motorsports. Jason Ashby came out sixth from Wrangler Motorsports. 13 of Jean-Francois Champagne came out seventh. He is with Champs with Mercy. Chris Perez finished eighth from Gamer Glove Sim Team. Eric Roberts finished ninth with C&E Motorsports. His teammate Craig Hawkins up there. We also have Lance Marsh, who did round up the top 10 with Big D's Racing last week at Texas Motor Speedway. Was an amazing race. We saw so many battles on the track. We saw a lot of green flag pit stops, a lot of different fuel strategies, which came into play, which made it an even greater race until the very end. Well, moving on to our current season standings here, we do have, once again, 88 James O'Brien still in the lead. He's now, 34 points ahead of second place driver, 24, Corey Blevins. So I'm not sure whether or not Corey can be able to pull this off and overtake James O'Brien. That would have to mean that James should have a bad race, so Corey can benefit from that. But knowing James, he is an amazing driver, so that will be very, very difficult for Corey Blevins to achieve here tonight. 60 of Cotton Lane here, coming from 5th place and currently being shown 3rd in points starting tonight's race. Markel Murphy still 4th in points. The 5, Jason Ashley from 8th up to 5th place in points, new to top 5. 54, Lance Marsh from 7th place to 6th. Jeffrey Ford from 3rd down to 7th. 13 of Jean-Francois Champagne from 10th up to 8th. The 14 of Paul D. Johnson with Big D's Racing from 6th down to 9th. And the 8 of Stephen Aguiar back in the top 10 here and rounding up that top 10. And going over these drivers' race teams, James O'Brien once again, Underdog Motorsports, Corey Blevins Flat Out Motorsports, Cotton Lane Ford Lane Motorsports, Markel Murphy Flat Out Motorsports, Jason Ashby Wrangler Motorsports, Lance Marsh Big D's Racing, Jeffrey Ford Ford Lane Motorsports, Jean-Francois Champagne Champs with Mercy, Pody Johnson, Big D's Racing, Stephen Aguiar, Wrangler Motorsports, and that once again, ladies and gentlemen, that does round up the top 10 in points. But going back to tonight's race here, looks like qualifying is just about over. And so far on the pole, we do have the 48 of Markel Murphy here with 29.989 here tonight. Kentucky Speedway for 125 laps, 125 laps, 60% fuel limit, 2 to 3 green flag pit stops here, and no backup cars. Let's see what the drivers have in store for us. They do an amazing job every single week, and we are glad to be back on board with the PRL, the Precision Racing League here. Once again, this is the final race of the season, and we'll be back again next season on July 30th, with the season opener being at Daytona International Speedway. Well, we will wait for the drivers here to grid up Yep, looks like the grid is now ready. We do have, once again, 48 Markel Murphy on the pole. The 93 Patrick Mercier being shown second after finishing second. Actually third last week's race. The 5 Jason Ashby being shown third here. The 6 of Steven Mattock starting fourth. 23 Craig Hawkins fifth. 88 James O'Brien, season standings leader so far, 6th in points. 95 Jeffrey Ford already has 2 wins on his belt here, starting 7th. The 8 of Steven Aguilar, 8th. The 13 of Jacques-Francois Champagne, 9th. The 24 of Corey Blevins, 10th. And once again, Corey Blevins is the biggest opponent, biggest rival for the 88 of James O'Brien in points here tonight. He is only 34 points behind him starting tonight's race. 27, Danny Duchesne being shown in 11th place. 14, Cody Johnson starting 12th. 59 of David White, 13th. We have the 28 of Eric Roberts, 14th. 3 of Dale Robertson, 15th, and that's 17 of Jerome Berthome here, starting in the 16th place position, being the last driver to qualify. We do have the 4 of Sammy Holmes. Here's tonight's race, sponsored by Honoring Those Who Served 125, starting 18th. The 911 John LaBeouf, 19th. The 40 of Aaron R. Gross. We haven't seen this driver in a long time. Good to see him back here tonight for the final race of the season, starting 20th. 54 Lance Marsh, 21st. 41 Chris Perez, 22nd. And Ron McManus, the 78, starting in the 23rd place position. And well, we are now going green, about to go green this time by for the final race of the season, the Honoring Those Who Served 125. And Dave, we have a lot of amazing, well-dressed machines.
Yeah, most definitely got a lot of great machines out there showing the support for those men and women who wear the uniform and protect our freedoms every night of the week, sometimes in faraway countries away from their families. So this will be an honor to call this race as they are now coming out of turn number 4.
If Markel here, the pace car dips down to pit road. 48 Markel still holding pace speed here. He is still holding pace speed. They're getting back on that side. The green flag flies open down to floor 23. Hawkins right behind the 5 of Jason Ashby. Jason gonna give a lap tap to the 48 of Markel Murphy on the inside line, getting past the 93 of Mercier there on the outside. And Patrick will try and power off turn 2 with the help of the 6 of Steven Mattox, who is trying to hold up 23 of Craig Hawkins, and Craig did back off to let him maintain that position, but going back up front 93 of Mercier right now, trying to get around the 5 of Jason. Actually take back the second place spot that he just lost not less than a lap ago, and they'll stay side by side here on the front stretch.
Yeah, most definitely. They are putting down some really good lap times here tonight. Taking a look here, you know, just for the first lap. So they are putting down some good lap times here, getting things squared away as it is the season finale here tonight.
And Dave, since this is the season finale, that means the gloves are off. And Dave, throughout the season, we have seen a lot of give and take, a lot more giving than taking. But Dave, tonight, it's going to be the other way around. And at this point, not only the leaders are racing for position, I mean, the 2 leaders, Corey Blevins and James O'Brien, but we do have a lot more drivers for the back in the pack, or for the back in the points down the list here, racing for position. We do have, for example, let's see, Cody Johnson and Steven Aguilar here, 9th and 10th in points during tonight's race. These 2 drivers are separated by only 1 point. So that could be anybody's race. Jeffrey Ford, Jacques-Francois Champagne, 7th and 8th in points here. Not too far behind each other, about 11 points apart. So that could be anybody's position right there. So they will be still racing to try their best to advance that. Also up ahead as well, we have Lance Marsh and Jason Ashby only separated by 2 points here for 5th and 6th place in points. So that just goes to show how amazing these drivers all are. And that goes to show, I mean, that's exactly why the points are very, very close throughout the whole entire field. Going for the back in the pack, 13, Jacques-Francois Champagne here, trying to catch the 8 of Steven Aguilar. 95, Jeffrey Ford behind the 88 of James O'Brien. A single foul line from the 6th place, from the 6 of Steven Mattox down to the 8 of Steven Aguilar. These drivers right now trying to set each other up for the long run, because they know they do have a lot of green flag runs, Dave.
Yeah, most definitely. We're only on lap 5, coming to lap 6 as the leaders now coming out of 4, coming through the front stretch here, crossing the start-finish line. So they still have a lot of race. I mean, they are still putting down right about mid 30-second lap times here in the early stages of the race. But with this track here at Kentucky, tire wear is going to be a key component. These drivers are going to have to keep an eye on their tires and try to extend them as long as they can. I have a feeling we may be able to see a fuel mileage strategy come into play tonight.
We have one driver going sideways before Lance Marsh taps the apron, goes sideways almost 90 degrees, was able to hang on to that machine. What a well-dressed machine. Nice save by Lance Marsh, but he will lose a lot of spots because of that. Right behind the 40 of Aaron Groskopf, trying to get back up to speed and do it all over again here on lap number 7. He will try and charge against the 40 of Groskopf as we speak.
Yeah, most definitely so. That was some good driving there by the 54 Lance Marsh, but back up front, we are still being led by the 48 of Markel Murphy. He has pulled out to about over a second gap over to second place, the 93 of Patrick Mercier, but the battle we are going to be watching tonight, the 88 of James O'Brien, currently in 6th. His biggest competition is going to be Corey Blevins. Taking a look here, Corey Blevins running back in the 11th position in that nice colorful tie-dye 24 car. So he's got some positions to make if he wants any shot, but James O'Brien pretty much knows he's just got to run a clean race here as he is running the 88 there, the National Guard, nice looking car there. So he is just kind of got to run his race here to come away with the season championship.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. And Dave, like I talked about, these two drivers, Blevins and O'Brien, are spread out or separated by only 34 points starting tonight's race. And Dave, I should admit, that's a lot of points. But, anything can happen. It's not over until it's over.
Yeah, 34 points, only 23 drivers on the field, 22 currently on the track and turning laps. So, to be honest, I think Corey Blevins is going to need a miracle here to come away with the championship. But I tell you what, he gave a heck of a run this season. He has been on a roll. He is going to come away with no worse than a second place finish in the championship. And that itself is a feat in its own.
Oh, absolutely. Couldn't I agree more with you right there. And speaking of Blevins, he is being challenged by the 28 of Eric Roberts. Eric Roberts is a driver who once again stays in the back of the pack early on in the race and then charges later on in the later stages of the race. And so far right now, just pretty much having a Sunday drive, trying to stay competitive, trying to stay consistent. Yeah, that's a word right there, consistent, because he is trying to avoid going a lap down. This track is very, very fast. They're running about 29 to 30-second lap times. So if you do end up running for too long, you will most likely go a lap down in no time.
Yeah, most definitely. So green flag pit stops, if we are going to see them tonight, they are going to be key. These drivers are going to have to get in and off pit road without making any mistakes. Their pit crew is going to have to get them their tires and their fuel. They are going to have to be in a hurry because it's going to be hard to make up positions if you make a mistake on pit road and lose a bunch of positions.
Oh, yeah. Most races that go caution-free are always won or lost on pit road, on and off pit road. Yeah, so that just goes to show how important those pit strategies are and pit stops. It is very important to not speed like the 60 of Cotton Lane. Cotton Lane is a driver who's known to go in pit road very, very hot. So we will keep an eye on him tonight once those green flag pit stops start to kick in. We are already here on lap number 13 of 125 lap race. So the pit window, most likely, Dave, would be in between laps number 30 and 35.
Yeah, most definitely, Sean. Right now I'm taking a look at that Ford machine of Sammy Holmes in that Ford Mustang. I like that paint scheme he's got on his car. We do know that he is a member of the armed services, just getting back from a deployment, serving our country, so it's good to see him back in the car. He did make his comeback last week, but he is currently running in 13th position, just kind of riding there. But he has a good looking car right there, Sean. I like that Apache helicopter there on the hood.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. And also, Dave, one more driver who has a very good-looking paint scheme also, the 5 of Jason Ashby. One other driver. Jason Ashby up there with a very, very nice blue paint scheme on the front. It does say Master Sergeant Ken Ashby. And I believe that most likely would be a relative. So we'll be getting an interview with most of these drivers tonight, and we'll be finding out more about these paint schemes.
Well, yeah, looking at his car, if you also look at the side of it, he's got Staff Sergeant Kerry Ashby, and I think on the other side it is Staff Sergeant Brooke Ashby. So I think the Ashbys, I think serving in the military runs in their family. So once again, we thank everybody who has put on that uniform in the past, present, and in the future, and served our country honorably and helped defend all of our rights. So we definitely tip our hats to all the members in the armed services.
Oh, most definitely. And Dave, going back up front, the 48 of Markel Murphy has now put away to about a 1.3 second lead over the second place driver, 93 of Patrick Mercer. And Dave, I should admit, knowing Markel Murphy this season, because he is a rookie this season, he's been an amazing rookie, one of the best rookies I've ever seen in any league whatsoever. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is that he is known up in the Dre Broadcasting booth, once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are new, as the fastest driver in the long run in the Precision Racing League American iRacing Sunday Series this season. And with that said, him starting up front like that, Dave, is a bad idea for everybody else, so it's a bad thing for his opponents.
Yeah, most definitely. Everybody behind him is going to hope that he makes a mistake. But I tell you what, as you said, starting July 30th, we were going to be kicking off Season 7 here in the Precision Racing League American iRacing Sunday Series. And I tell you, this guy right here, the 48, Markel Murphy, he is going to be a contender. He is going to be up front battling these guys for the Season 7 championship. He is going to be one of my drivers to watch next season, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. And also, Dave, the one of Pataska, the current, the defending champion this season and last season's champion, he has missed a lot of races, including this one, and lost the season standings lead a long time ago. Just hope that he will be able to show up or attend next season, season 7, because he is a heavy contender, Dave, and he knew how to get the job done as well.
Yeah, most definitely so. He is going to be a contender next season, of course. James O'Brien, Corey Blevins. We've got so many good drivers here. Sammy Holmes, Lance Marsh, John LaBeouf, Paul D. Johnson. So I'm looking forward to next season. I'm sure also, once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the season finale. However, the next couple of weeks, if you are interested in joining the Precision Racing League, the American iRacing Sunday Series, please go to their website, www.precisionracingleague.com, sign up, send out an email. They'll let you know they are going to be holding recruitment races. It's basically going to be race your way in. They have a limited number of seats, so if this is a league that you'd be interested in racing in or wanting more information on, definitely go to that website. Once again, it's www.precisionracingleague.com. Sign up, and hopefully we'll see you out in the recruitment races and maybe see you on the track next season.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, you will not regret joining a league like this. They do have a lot of green flag pit stops every single week. They do know how to get the job done here. They do define Robbins Racing, and it's just full of amazing, great drivers and a lot of happy drivers. You can always tell about their happiness in their voice every single time we interview them up here in the booth, like the 3 of Robertson, last week's winner at Texas Motor Speedway, 95 Jeffrey Ford, the 88 James O'Brien, who we've interviewed almost every single week, Dave, and also the 48 of Murphy and Patrick Mercer himself.
Yeah, we got Patrick Mercier there running in second, but he has got the 5 of Jason Ashby all over him. They're running in second place, going a little further back to fourth. You got Stephen Maddox. He is under fire. He is the 88 of James O'Brien behind him. Back in 6th, you got Jeffrey Ford, and he has got, it looks like there's the 8 machine of Stephen Aguiar right behind them. And then, we just got battles all over. The 23 of Craig Hawkins running in 8th. Paul D. Johnson and Eric Roberts running out your top 10. But these guys are still battling out lap 24. Probably within the next 10 to 15 laps, we should start seeing first round of green flag pit stops here. Well, actually, it might be a little bit longer than that. I'm not quite sure of the pit window, but we are definitely going to keep an eye on that, see how long these drivers can stay out.
Oh, most definitely. And Dave, we do have some drivers to the back in the pack. 78, Ron McManus. Ron is being shown about 25 seconds behind the leader, 48, Markel Murphy. And with that said, that means he's 5 seconds away from being lapped. Yes, I'm looking in his rear chase right now, and I do see the 48 of Markel Murphy coming like a hungry lion, pulling the 93 of Mercy and the 5 of Jason Ashby with him, and also up front in front of the 78 of Ron McManus here. We do have the 54 of Lance Marsh. 54 of Lance Marsh, Dave, has gained 3 spots after his mistake. And right now, Lance Marsh's next victim is 27 of Danny Duchesne for the 16th place position. At the same time, Duchesne is trying to hunt down the 3 of Dale Robertson. And Robertson right now is riding behind the 24, actually battling 24 of Corey Blevins here, entering turn 3. The 3 of Robertson will take it over 24 of Corey Blevins, who will let him by.
Yeah, it looks like Corey's having a little bit of trouble. He started 10th, he has dropped back, but now he is making the charge there underneath the 3 of Dale Robertson. He is trying to get that 14th position back. He is going to complete the pass, but he is kind of moving towards the back there. Don't know if he's having a little bit of issue, but looks like everybody, Dale Robertson does the crossover there, gets to his door, and is going to be battling him again here for the 14th position coming into turn 3 and 4.
And today we have 2 drivers down pit road, 78 Ron McManus and 23 of Craig Hawkins pitting in this time by with 27 laps on their tires. And John LaBeouf going to be joining these drivers, being the 3rd driver for his first pit stop, green flag pit stop of tonight's race on lap number 28. So yeah, it's safe to say the pit window is in between. Well, last week we saw the exact same pit strategies. Drivers are pitting in on all the way from lap 27 through 35. So we're gonna see exactly when the last driver pits in. We have 6 of Steven Mattox going down pit road this time by. All is going to be taking 4 tires, Dave, with a full tank of gas, because 2 tires is not the way to go.
Well, I am looking here. It looks like the 93 of Patrick Mercier in 2nd position is starting to close that gap a little bit on Markel Murphy. They are closing that gap as it looks like Mercier and Ashby are trying to track him down here on lap 29 coming to lap 30. So we have just right under 100 laps left remaining. So I mean, these drivers are putting it out, but these green flag pit stops, as we see the 14 of Paul D. Johnson is now down on pit road as well.
Yeah, the question now remains, when will the leader go down pit road? Looking at the in previous races, James O'Brien usually likes to pit towards the very end. 48 Murray pulling off this time by the leader. Will be passed on the lead. Will be passed on back to the 93 of Patrick Mercier, with the 5 of Jason Ashby all over Mercier, and has been all over his back bumper for the last 10 to 12 laps. And let's see who else is pitting in. The 4 of Sammy Holmes down pit road this time by. And now the leaders now have 31 laps on their tires.
Well, as we are going to focus here, comes the 5 of Jason Ashby. He is going to get underneath the 93 of Patrick Mercier. Is he slowing down to come down pit road? No, he is going to stay out and challenge that 93, but he's just not able to complete that pass for the lead. So we are still going to be led here by Patrick Mercier. 2 laps led, right? 48 of Markel Murphy. Taking a look at him, as he is just now coming off pit road, being currently showed 1 lap down.
And Dave, I was looking through the field here, trying to find the 60 of Cotton Lane. I then remembered that in last week's interview, because he did finish in 4th place at Texas Motor Speedway, he did talk about how he was not going to be attending. He wasn't going to be able to attend tonight's race, but it was good speaking to him for the final, for the last time this season. I look forward to seeing him back again next season, because starting tonight's race, he was being shown 3rd place in points, right behind Corey Blevins.
Yeah, most definitely. But taking a look here, looking at our top 10, we have Patrick Mercier, current leader, Jason Ashby 2nd, Jeffrey Ford 3rd, Stephen Aguirre 4th, 41 Chris Perez 5th, 54 Lance Marsh in 6th, Corey Blevins 7th, Danny Duchesne 8th, David White 9th, and the 40 of Aaron Grosskopf, rounding out your top 10 right now as we are starting to cycle here through green flag pit stop. Our leaders are currently 34 laps on their tires, so we should be seeing the rest of them come down here, down on pit road.
And so far, 41, Chris Perez and the 3 of Darrell Robertson going down pit road this time by. They went down pit road with about 33 laps on their tires. And let's see how many drivers left in to pit in. Looks like 9 more drivers. Yeah, 9 drivers left to pit in. Nope, one of them has pitted in 34. 48. 93, Patrick Mercier. Jeez. The 93 Patrick Mercier pitting in this time by, passing the race lead over to the 5 of Jason Ashby with the 95 of Jeffrey Ford right behind him.
Yeah, most definitely. These guys are battling it out here. As Jason Ashby is now leading his first set of laps. He is backing it down. He is coming down with a 40 of Aaron Grosskopf. They are coming down onto pit road for some green flag pit stops. That is going to pass that lead over to the 95 of Jeffrey Ford, as he is still going to need to pit here. Same with Lance Marsh, Corey Blevins, Danny Duchesne, and David White all still need to pit here for their first round green flag pit stops.
And we have more drivers on pit road. Aaron Grosskopf, Jason Ashby, and Stephen Aguiar passing the race lead over to 95 of Jeffrey Ford here on lap number 36. So I guess at this point, maybe it might be safe to say that the last time to pit would be maybe lap 40, but we'll keep an eye on the 95 of Jeffrey Ford and find out whether or not that is true. So at this point, let's see. We now have only 5 drivers left to pit in. Corey Blevins down pit road, Danny Duchesne, Lance Marsh. So now only 2 more drivers, Jeffrey Ford and David White.
Yes, we got the cameras pointed right now on the 95 of Jeffrey Ford as he is coming through turn 4. Nope, he is going to go another time around, so he is now pushing 38 laps. Question is, we have a caution.
And I've been trying to find exactly what might have been the cause of that, but I don't seem to be finding anything.
Well, I do believe it is going to be the 28 of Eric Roberts here, as we are going to pull up the Dre Broadcasting instant replay. It looks like, just a single car spin. Coming out of turn number 4, it kicks sideways, sending down on the grass. He come back on the track, completely spun and stopped, bringing out our first caution of the night here on lap 38.
Yeah, what a nice save, Dave, by Eric Roberts. He did keep that machine and scratched. Very nice job on his part. That back end just snapped around on the exit of turn 4, and he lost control of that machine, but that was definitely a nice save and great awareness by everybody on the track, not making that worse than it was. But going back up front, the 95 Jeffrey Ford still in the lead, the 59 of David White being shown second. And at this point, maybe if Jeffrey Ford pits in, he might be able to come out in the lead. Let's see. Nope, actually, no, that's false. The drivers behind him will take the race lead back. 48 of Murphy will take the race lead back here. The 6 of Steven Mattox being shown second. 48 going down pit road this time by. Gonna wait until it cycles through. Yeah, track position for Jeffrey Ford, so he most likely might be able, or should be able to take the race lead or maintain the race lead once he exits pit road. But right behind the pace car, we do have 78 Ron McManus, Patrick Mercier, Jason Ashby, 88 James O'Brien, Craig Hawkins, Pody Johnson, 8 of Stephen Aguiar, Dale Robertson, Sammy Holmes, Jean-Francois Champagne, 911 John LaBeouf, Danny Duchesne, Corey Blevins, 41 Chris Perez, 40 of Grosskopf, 28 of Eric Roberts. Dave, all these drivers being shown a lap down, and yes, the 95 of Jeffrey Ford will take the race lead or maintain the race lead here, starting this next race. And everybody here will be getting the wave run. That caution did catch him at a very bad time.
Yeah, most definitely. A lot of cars a lap down due to the green flag pit stops. So that, I tell you, the guys that are going to benefit from that is going to be Jeffrey Ford, Stephen Maddox, and Markel Murphy. They are going to benefit greatly from that, as they were the only ones on the lead lap here. So they are going to benefit because they are going to be out front. But everybody in front of them is not going to be able to pit, because if they pit, they will not get the wave around.
Oh, absolutely, man. Some drivers were good, happy to see that caution, but not really a lot of them, because that did catch them off. That did catch them off guard at a very bad time while they were still on pit road, and some were just exiting pit road when that happened. But once we go one to green, yep, almost the whole field will be getting the waiver on the pace car to be back on the lead lap. And we are showing the 40 of Groskov and the 78 of Ron McManus being shown 2 laps down. Looks like Groskov has sustained some right rear damage on the machine. 78 of Ron McManus as well does have a little bit of right front damage on that machine of his, and we most likely will be coming back to 1 to green this time by.
Yeah, most definitely so. We're getting ready to go green flag racing here with 40 laps in the books. 1 caution so far. Taking a look here at our race report. 1 caution, 3 lead changes. Fastest lap of the night was a 30.219. So it'll be interesting to see how this is going to play out, as we did see Jeffrey Ford stay out 38 laps before that caution. So we'll see what the pit window is going to be under green flag conditions.
Yep, and we are now back 1 to green. A lot of drivers get the wave around the pace car. The 95 Jeffrey Ford here still maintains that race lead. He will have 59 of David White right behind him. And David as well has sustained some left front damage on that machine, but very well dressed machine as well on David White's part. Looking on the outside is going to be the 48 of Markel Murphy with the 6 of Steven Mattox right behind him.
Well, as we see the pace car now coming down the backstretch, these guys are getting double file, ready to go green flag racing here, as the pace car is going to bring them here into turn number 3. Getting ready to go back green flag racing here at Kentucky Speedway. So here we go, boys and girls, back green flag racing, honoring those that serve. 125 with the American iRacing Sunday Series Season 6 finale. Who is going to come out the race winner, but who is going to come out the season champion? Pace car getting ready to dip in. Pace car is now down on pit road. Jeffrey Ford keeps him. He jumps hard on that throttle, catches everyone else sleeping, gets out to a good jump. 48 of Markel Murphy crosses that start-finish line, but here comes the 6 of Steven Maddox. He is going to be on the outside there of the 59 of David White, and he is going to overtake that 3rd position. But look, there's the 23 of Craig Hawkins and the 88 of James O'Brien.
James O'Brien trying to make up as much time as he can. Follows the line of 23 of Craig Hawkins, but he does. His car does push entering turn 3, and because of that, he does lose a lot of time, a lot of speed, and the position to the 3 of Dale Robertson. But the 59 of White does go high to let these guys by. No harm done. 88 O'Brien going to take it 3 wide. No, back down to 2 wide. Pulling on the 14 of Paul D. Johnson. And look at that, Dave. These drivers are not able to get their laps back here. 23 Greg Hawkins, James O'Brien, Paul D. Johnson, Eric Roberts, Jacques Francois, Lance Marsh, Dale Robertson. These drivers are not able to get back on the lead lap, Dave, so they are fighting for the lucky dog.
Yeah, most definitely. So they are putting it out here as they are battling hard here tonight.
And as we see right now, 88 of James O'Brien on the inside line here. He is being challenged with 14 of Cody Johnson. Johnson will place it outside. Nope, Johnson got loose off of turn number 2, which did cause him to back off and let the 88 of O'Brien maintain that 14th place position. And further back in the pack, before the last match being shown on pit road again. Also, we have the 27 of Andrew Shane putting in this time by. Dave, I'm pretty sure these drivers are pitting in because they didn't have a chance to pit in during the caution. Yep, that's exactly why. Before Lance Marsh is now rolling off pit road. Lance Marsh did stay out to get the wave around the pace car to get 1 lap back, so he had no choice but to go down to pit road by himself about 2 to 3 laps after the green flag had flown. So he will lose a lot of time because of that, but he will have new tires, so he should be able to make up as much time as possible, and hoping for a caution so everything can be back to normal for him, because right now he is being shown 2 laps down in the 19th place position, but going back up front 48. Markel was able to get the lead back from the 95 of Jeffrey Ford.
Yeah, they were battling it out. Jeffrey Ford is trying to get that battle, but he has got to watch, because right behind him is the 6. The 6 of Stephen Maddox. He is wanting to take that position. Also, right there is the 23 of Craig Hawkins, I think it is. But he is currently 1 lap down. He is currently sitting in the lucky dog position. So James O'Brien is trying to catch him so that he can be in the lucky dog. Is from 12th position back. They are down 1 lap to 12th to 16th, 17th, and back is 2 laps or more. So these guys got to get back on the lead lap. That's if we have any cautions. Otherwise, they're going to have to do it the hard way, Sean.
Absolutely. We will have to do it the hard way and get their laps back by overtaking the leader or lapping the leader twice. So they can be back on the lead lap, but that is nearly impossible. Well, it's very difficult to get it done, but we'll see exactly what these drivers have in store for us. Every single one of them hoping for a caution so they can be able to get the wave run. As we speak, the 3 of Robertson here battling the 88 of James O'Brien, still battling him and being able to hold him off for the most part. And once again, Dale Robertson did win last week's race at Texas Motor Speedway. He was a very, very fast driver and definitely is showing how powerful he is tonight here as well at Kentucky Speedway. Going back up front here, we do have the 93 of Patrick Mercier here being challenged by the 28 of Eric Robertson, now challenging the 59 of David White for position.
Yeah, the 93 is trying to make his way back up to the front as we've got lap cars here all mixed out throughout the field, so these drivers kind of hard. I mean, they not only got to race other drivers' position, but they got to get around these lap cars as well. Make sure that they don't get held up here. So it'll be interesting to see what the 93 of Patrick Mercier is going to be able to do as he has now climbed back up into the 4th position.
And Dave, unfortunately, we do have one driver on pit road, not to get pit service, but he is trying to get his machine fixed. I just now noticed this, but the 40 of Groskov was involved in an incident there, which gave him a lot of damage and most likely might have blown his motor. But that car's not looking too bad, so his pit crew should be able to get that machine back out and up and running, so he can be able to put down as many laps as he can.
Well, Sean, with that being said, we are going to take our first round of commercial breaks here on lap 51 of 125, as we will be right back bringing you the remainder of the honoring those that serve 125 in the American iRacing Sunday Series. So this will be your chance to refill your drinks and refill your snacks, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Honoring Those Who Served 125 by Sammy Holmes, part of round 12 of the Precision Racing League American iRacing Sunday Series, brought to you by HighTorqueTexas.com and the Brake Mod at thebrakemod.com. And once again, these are the season sponsors. They are in your top left of your screen and top right as well, so you can check them out at any time. Well, going back to the race, we still have 48 of Markel Murphy still in the lead, 95 Jeffrey Ford being shown second, Mattox being shown third, 93 Patrick Mercier fourth, and Jason Ashby in the 5th place position. The 911 John Labat for the back in the pack here being shown the last driver on the lead lap in the 11th place position, behind the 4 of Sammy Holmes, who is on pit road as we speak, getting some service on that machine. 4 tires, full tank, and off he'll go.
Yeah, we are getting to that point for second round of green flag pit stops. We saw pretty much everybody have to do green flag pit stops the first round, but then a caution kind of cut that short. But they are now here working as we are right at the halfway point of tonight's race. So they have got to get down and get into for their second round of pit stops, which we'll probably see everybody within the next 5 to 10 laps coming down and doing their second round of green flag pit stop.
Yep, we already do have some drivers. John LaBeouf down pit road, Corey Blevins down pit road. John LaBeouf did pit in with about 35 laps on his tires, compared to Corey Blevins, who had only about 27 laps on his tires while pitting in. Same strategy as they did for the first round of green flag pit stops. But now the leaders have, let's see, from 26 laps on their tires. Markel Murphy with the 95 of Jeffrey Ford, but going back for the back in the pack here, the 14 of Cody Johnson as well, pitting in this time by for a second round of green flag pit stops as we speak.
Yep, so we are got a lot of drivers here. We have Paul D. Johnson, Sammy Holmes, Corey Blevins, John LaBeouf, Aaron Grosskopf, who's still down on pit road. Same with Jerome Bartholomew, the 17. All come down on pit road for their second round of green flag pit stops. So we are still waiting on the top 12, though. They have to come down. They are 27, or actually, Patrick Mercier's got 31 laps on his tires. So him and Chris Perez look like they're on the same pit strategy right now.
Yep, it's all about that first strategy, or those first pit stops that we had. The caution did really screw things up for a lot of drivers. That's why we have some drivers having a lot less laps on their tires compared to a lot of the other drivers. It all comes down to what happened during that caution. And as we speak, 88 James O'Brien is on pit road. 23 Craig Hawkins pitting in this time by the leaders, still going nice and strong. 95 Jeff Ford has been maintaining the the second place position behind the 48 of Markel Murphy for a very long time now, and has kept keeping that gap consistent, only 9/10 of a second behind the 48 of Murphy. And right now 54 of Lance Marsh is trying his best to get around the 48 of Murphy so he can be able to get one lap back, Dave, because he is being shown 3 laps down.
Yeah, most definitely. So, but right now we only have 8 cars left on the lead lap. The 59 of David White, the last car on the lead lap, as he is currently running back in 8th position. So, but that is going to change come these green flag pit stops.
Oh, most definitely. And the 59 of White right now does go high. Yes, I'm taking with the 4 of Sammy Holmes. Sammy Holmes once again is on newer tires, so he will be a whole lot faster than the 59 of David White, who has not yet pitted in for a second round of green flag pit stops. 41 Chris Perez going down pit road. Oh, actually looks like that might have been a mistake. It looks like he went down pit road but then exited pit road. That was weird. 23 of Hawkins still on pit road this time by with a 3.2 second pit stop.
Well, I'll tell you what, Markel Murphy is dominating here tonight, already leading 56 laps out of the 70 we have ran here tonight. This is his race. He seems to be at home here. He is comfortable in that seat. He is just seeming out for a Sunday drive. But I tell you, Jeffrey Ford's making a charge here, as he has now cut that lead back to under 0.5 of a second, as he is starting to catch up on the 48 of Markel Murphy. Markel Murphy down on pit road for his second round of green flag pit stops.
Oh, Dave, the caution flies. Trouble on the track on the exit of turn 214 of Cody Johnson involved in this mess. And also on the driver, I can't quite get a number on that. 14 of Johnson, 88 James O'Brien, 4 of Sammy Holmes. Let's back it up here and see what happened on the point of view of the 14 of Johnson.
Well, as we are focusing actually here on the 88 of James O'Brien, oh, the 14 of Paulie Johnson coming out of turn 2, just lost it and slid up right in front of the 88 of James O'Brien. Is the 14 of Paulie Johnson was smoking heavily. I think both of these guys are going to have to get a pit down on pit road. Is the 95 of Jeffrey Ford back in the lead again. Once he gets in the lead, I'll tell you, this is the second time tonight he was leading when the caution flag came out.
Oh, absolutely. So far, Jeffrey Ford having an amazing race. Everything just falling into place for him. And very unfortunate indeed for the 14 of Johnson and the 88 of James O'Brien. Right before that, right before the caution had flown, 23 of Hawkins did disconnect from the server. So he has retired early, and did back up, see exactly what happened to Craig Hawkins, and nothing happened to him. He just pitted in and retired for the night. So he most likely was having some other difficulties that we do not know about or could not see. But the 95 Ford right now is on pit road, this time by getting some service with a lot of drivers down behind the pace car, hoping to get the wave on the pace car. Yep, the 28 of Roberts gets the lucky dog here, back on the lead lap on lap 72.
Yeah, most definitely. As we see the 95 of Jeffrey Ford, he is going to bring the field down onto pit road. 93 of Patrick Mercier. Actually, it looks like the race lead is going to be handed back over to the 48 of Markel Murphy. I don't know if he actually pitted, but I know he was on pit road when that yellow came out. So the question is, did he actually pit, Sean? I don't know if you can go back and take a look, see if he actually got tires or if he just went straight through pit road.
Yeah, looking at it, Dave, he did actually pit in, but by the looks of it, he did receive an end-of-the-line penalty. So, Dave, he is being sent to the back of the pack, and the 95 Ford most likely will be able to maintain his race lead.
You are absolutely correct. The 95 Jeffrey Ford is going to maintain his race lead. He has led 10 laps here tonight, so he is going to come out of pit road on the lead as the leader. 93 of Patrick Mercier second. Jason Ashby will be third. Eric Roberts will come out fourth. Stephen Aguilar currently running in your fifth position. David White sixth. Markel Murphy currently running seventh. Not sure if that's going to change, as it looks like it is going to, as he is slowing down and letting everybody by him. So we'll let this get figured out here, and then we'll figure out where everybody is sitting on the restart here, as we are now here on lap 73.
And Dave, the lights on the pace car are still on. This does give us some time for a race interview. Let's focus on the 5 of Jason Ashby. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are being joined by the 5 of Jason Ashby, representing Wrangler Motorsports. Get a cup there, Jason.
Hey, I got you there, Sean.
How you doing tonight?
Doing great, man. How are you?
Oh, doing good too, thank you. Well, Jason, tonight you are doing an amazing job, man. You started up front and have been up front ever since, just pretty much battling, trying to stay consistent here. How's the race going so far?
You know, Sean, so far so good. I got a great paint scheme on to honor my dad, my brother, and my sister-in-law. They were all served in the Air Force. Just sitting here biding my time, saving tires, waiting for the end of the race.
Oh, copy that. And absolutely, Jason, you do have an amazing paint scheme. Yep, and we have shown it to the broadcast, or to the viewers out there in the stream on YouTube. You do have the names on the side, on the front of it, and that's an amazing looking paint scheme. Who did the painting for you?
I actually did it myself there, Sean.
Oh, 10 for not only talented at driving, but also at painting. That is very, very good to hear. And just so far, you are doing an amazing job. We do hope everything falls in your favor, and you are starting behind the 95 of Jeffrey Ford, 1 to green this time by. So, buddy, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and see you in victory lane.
Awesome, guys. Thanks. Have a good one.
And that was the 5 of Jason Ashby starting behind the 95 of Jeffrey Ford on the inside. On the outside is the 93 of Patrick Mercier with the 8 of Steven Aguiar right behind him. And Markel Murphy has been pushed back to the 6th place position, starting behind the 8 of Steven Aguiar, going green this time by on lap number 75, as for start-finish line, which will give us 51 laps remaining. We do exit turn 4 this time by. The drivers getting bunched up nice and tight. Pace car dips leaves the surface. The 95 Ford puts down the floor, no hesitation, and will catch the drivers off guard. The 5 of Jason Ashby looks to the inside of the 93 of Patrick Mercer for the 2nd place spot here before turn number 1, and will most likely take it away. The 93 of Patrick Mercer drives in hard by 95. The 5 of Jason Ashby does go down to the apron, comes back up high, gets a good exit. But the 93 of Mercer occupies the outside line as we speak.
Yeah, 90 Mercier, they've got a good push off the turn as they are door-to-door through turns 3 and 4, still battling for that 2nd position. Jeffrey Ford is loving this because as they are battling, he is just pulling away. The 8 is Steven Aguiar right there ready to pounce if one of those 2 drivers also make a mistake.
Absolutely, Aguiar right now trying to just follow the fastest race line, doing the Q line, going low in the turns, high off the turns to get that slingshot off the turns. He does give a lap tap to the 5 of Jason Ashby. Unfortunately, they will have lost one more driver, the 28 of Eric Roberts. But we do look forward to seeing him again back next season. He has been an amazing driver this season.
Yeah, most definitely here is to take a look. We only have 9 cars on the lead lap, the 24 of Corey Blevins, the last one here on the lead lap. So he is probably hoping on a caution to be able to get caught up and bunched up back with the field. But same with the 41 of Chris Perez. He is the first car a lap down. So he is also hoping here for a caution here. Looks like our season points leader, the 88 of James O'Brien, is still down on pit road getting service as his pit crew is definitely hard at work pounding out that machine of his.
Absolutely, that National Guard Chevy Camaro has seen better days, and hopefully James will be able to get back out onto the track and put down as many laps as he can, Dave, to finally secure his pole position in points, or most likely even take over the become the new leader, or I should say the champion of season 6, after being the champion during the season 5 season. That was an amazing season on James O'Brien's part, and has been this season as well. So it's not going to end just yet, but Dave 24 of Corey Blevins is smiling as we speak.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to make up enough points, but definitely here. So we'll have to wait to see here at the end.
And speaking of 24 of Corey Blevins, he is watching a battle between the 78 of Ron McMass and the 4 of Sammy Holmes. They will be side by side throughout this front stretch. The 4 of Sammy does drift way high, lose a little bit of time, but still maintains the outside of the 78 of Ron McManus here, entering the turn. Now that 24 of Blevins will try and follow the line of the 4 of Sammy Holmes. The 78 of Ron McMaster tries to close the door on the 4 of Sammy Holmes, but Sammy gets out of that and still maintains the outside line on the exit of turn 2.
Yeah, look who's there, 24 of Corey Blevins. He almost thought about trying to take it 3 wide. 78 Ronald McManus gets a little dirt tracking in here at Kentucky as he is able to keep it going straight and keep us under green flag conditions.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a special guest here tonight. One of the drivers here from Big D's Racing, Paul D. Johnson. Get a call up there, buddy.
Hey guys, how's life
tonight?
Could be better. Felt like a decent car. Wasn't super fast, but wasn't really that slow. And I was just passing traffic that hadn't pit yet. No harm, no foul. And I got that front left tire. Shoot, I looked at the replay. It was about 2 inches on that yellow line, and it turned that car sideways. And tried to save it and took out the points leader. Oops.
Absolutely, man. We are sorry to hear about your misfortune there, but man, you have been doing an amazing job all season long. And with that said, Paul, do you define this season as successful on your part?
Oh yeah, any of these seasons are successful. I look forward to racing on Sunday night with this group. You can tell from this race, had 2 cautions with very tight setup. The cars are a little tight, which actually I don't mind. I like kind of manhandling a tight setup a little bit. So, but you watch these guys and there's different people up front that are usually there, and it's nice to see that. And we got some interesting pit strategies, and so. Yeah, definitely a fun season. Definitely a successful season. I think Big D's Racing may even end up in the top 3 for our team. So, not even a bad showing for our team.
Oh, most definitely, man. It has been nice seeing you guys coming out week in and week out. Yep, and so far here in the team championship, the Big D's Racing is being shown 4th, which is very, very impressive. But brother, it is good to see you once again. And yeah, thank you for joining us up here in the booth, man. We're enjoying the race so far.
Yeah, no problem. Figure I'd just help commentate a little bit. I'm watching live now, so we should be up to date. Sometimes I end up being 2 laps down, and then people can't figure out what I'm talking about.
Oh, 10-4. And so far here, we have been talking about the 48 of Markel Murphy, Paul. Markel, we have named him as the fastest driver in the long run this season with the PRL American iRacing Sunday Series, and him starting up front like he did was a bad idea, but now he is back there in traffic.
Yeah, I mean, and he has shown to be, he's really fast. Took the pole, I think, tonight, correct? And he's been really fast and really consistent. Now, one thing that's been interesting tonight from what I've seen is that I don't know if he's quite as consistent in the long run. I think he's burning that right front tire off a little hard. I noticed his lap times towards the end of fuel runs start to diminish, and if we have green flag runs from here on to the end, it could be interesting. I know some of the guys were reeling him in there at the end, so if he can't conserve those tires, it may be interesting.
I'm actually very glad you pointed that out, Paul, because also Dave did also notice that, because before we had the first round of green flag pit stops, the 94 Patrick Mercier was in 2nd place and was catching up to him towards the end of that fuel run, and also the 2nd fuel run towards the very end, the 95 Ford, who was 2nd place right behind him, was catching up to him. So maybe tonight might not be his, or maybe this is not his strongest track, but still he's being able to maintain the top 5, but not as easily.
Yeah, I would agree. I think if you look right now, looks like Stevens caught up to him and is looking to put a pass on him. Now, Stevens another guy that's very fast, but can wear the tires off. So they may have the same racing strategy. Possibly Markel's trying to save tires now. That could be the way he's racing now. Is that he realized that you can't push it quite as hard at this track because your tire runoff is so bad that you'll get reeled right back up and overtaken if you try to run hard.
Oh, most definitely. And right now, 95 of Jeffrey Ford still maintaining his position. He is being shown 0.6 of a second ahead of the 5 of Jason Ashby, 2nd place position. For the back in the pack as well, the 24. Actually, let's see, the 4 of Sammy Holmes here is right behind the 24 of Corey Blevins. And starting tonight's race, Paul, the 24 of Blevins was being shown about 34 points behind James O'Brien. I mean, that's a lot of points. I'm not sure he's going to be able to make that up.
Oh yeah, that's going to be near impossible. We've already done the math. If James can get out there, just turn a few more laps and save a few positions, I think he's got this wrapped up. And the other thing is, Corey's really struggling with this track. It's interesting to see. That's one of the reasons I actually really do love a fixed setup, because you can see, this is a tight setup. And there's certain guys that are a lot better at looser setups, and there's certain guys that are actually better at tight setups. And you can see that. I mean, Jeffrey's doing fantastic up there. Really surprising a bunch of people.
Yeah, speaking of Jeffrey Ford, he has now increased his lead to 0.9 of a second, over almost a second ahead of the 5 of Jason Ashby. And looking at my stats, they have ran 21 laps. 95 Ford has 21 laps on his tires this far, so we should expect to see some more green flag pit stops here in the next, I should say, 6 to 10 laps.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting it'll be really interesting to see what their pit strategy is going to be. The first pit strategy there for Jeffrey was to stay out. In fact, but if you go back, there is a battle going on right now. It looks like Markel's trying to get past the 93 of Patrick Mercier. Um, they're running side by side. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull this pass off.
Off turn 2, Patrick does get a slingshot and clears the 48 of Murphy, but Murphy drives it in hard. Entering turn 3, and those two stay side by side, but Murphy does fall short. His car was pushing. He had no choice but to back off to avoid causing trouble, and that does cause him to fall back in line behind Patrick. And I just noticed that Patrick has sustained a little bit of a ding in his rear end. So I'm not sure what happened to him, but it's not affecting him by the looks of it.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened there. He's got a crumpled right front fender too, but it doesn't seem to be affecting him that much. Patrick's fast anyway, and I think that Markel's realizing, hey, don't push the issue. Fall back in, ride around the draft. If I get another shot, I'll take it, but don't push that issue. Especially on a track where tire wear is big. When you start running side by side, it just exponentially increases the tire wear, and you got to be very careful with that.
Oh, absolutely. And last season there, Paul, you were running with 16. Yeah, that was a 16 of Curtis Ahon. You had a teammate change because Curtis didn't come back this season. You have Lance Marsh. How does that work out? Did you have to pick your teammate or just the way it falls?
Oh yeah, we can pick our teammates. So Curtis took this season off. No issues with the league or anything. Just he had some stuff going on in his personal life. Couldn't really make the commitment to show up most Sundays. So he took the season off. And Lance used to be partners with Sammy, and Sammy was actually deployed. He's back now, which is awesome to see. And so when Sammy left, Eddie Hawks knew he wasn't going to be at a few races, so they partnered up. And then Lance and I partnered up just to, we both knew we both ran Fords, and we've got similar driving styles, and we work well together. So that's why we decided to go ahead and team up for this season.
Well, Paul, now we've been with you guys for quite a few seasons now. Who do you think is going to be a top runner out of the guys that you've raced this season? Who do you think is going to be one of the top runners for season 7 starting at the end of July?
So, I don't want to make too many speculations and give some guys some big heads, but I think Texas was possibly a little bit of a preview. I don't know if Dale is going to be able to spend that amount of time doing setups, but that was a heck of a setup for him. He's a pretty decent driver. I don't think he's the fastest driver out here, but it showed that he knows how to work on a car and get it set up last week. Unfortunately, I wasn't at the race, but watching it, it's going to make things shuffle up. Jeffrey, I think Jeffrey's come a long way. He could be a new one that you see up there, as long as he keeps his patience. That's going to be the big thing there. If he stays patient, he could very well, have a bunch more nights like he's having so far tonight. The race is still far from over, but it's actually very impressive. I am blown away at how he's running tonight.
Oh, and we have some green flag pit stops kicking in as we speak. The 5 of Jason actually just peeled off the 8 of Steven Aguirre down pit road. Both drivers with 28 laps on their tires. Jeffrey Ford having 29 laps on his tires and has the 48 of Murphy right behind him. Looks like Murphy was able to get around the 92 of Patty Mercier finally. So it will be 1, 2, 3 here respectively. 59 David White 4th. And that 5, Jason actually being shown in the 5th place position. And that first caution, those cautions actually caught you guys at a very bad time there, Paul.
Yeah, it caught a bunch of people at a bad time. That was a very interesting caution strategy. I know that's what we were talking about earlier, where Jeffrey is running a longer pit strategy, hoping that the caution will come out and put him. I mean, he was a lap ahead there at one point. Now the big thing is, what is he going to do on this one? Because it's going to be hard to bank on 2 cautions to help him out in the same way. So I'm curious to see what he's doing. And he's pulling in. Sure enough, he did change it up. He's pitting right now. He's pulling down pit road.
And the 93 of Mercer will follow him down pit road this time by. And that passes the race lead over Well, it's going to pass it over to the 59 of David White. David White deciding to stay out one more extra lap this time by. And how many drivers? 4 drivers left to pit in. We have David White himself, Jean-Francois Champagne, Danny Duchesne, and the 40 of Aaron Groskov. These drivers still need to pit in, and we are only showing about 4 drivers on the lead lap.
Yeah, Sean, I would guess that I would guess that David stayed out to get that led lap. You know, that point is definitely helpful. I would guess that he's probably going to pit next time. We'll see. He did not. He stayed. Well, he might not have had the. He may not have had the lead at that point, but I would expect to see him coming down pit road pretty soon.
Oh, absolutely. He just now took over the race lead here. Fine. It looks like he didn't cycle out. It didn't give him the race lead. He does go down the apron. His speed is getting lower down the track. Oh, no, he still powers off turn 4, going around one more time. This time by the 48 of Markel Murphy is now being shown 26 seconds behind him. And the longer he stays out, Paul, the more time he will lose. The 48 of Murphy, 5 of Ashby, and everybody who's pitted in has new tires.
Yeah, that's huge. He really should, you know, if it were me seeing the leaders pitting, I'd be in the pits right now getting new tires because, you know, it's only going to, now the only plus side is he's going to be able to reel them in the long run, but he's got to time that about perfectly. That's hard to do, you know, to time it to where you're not going to, to where you can save your tires enough to catch up to him. So I don't know if he's going to be able to do that or not. There was a little bit of a snafu there. They got a little bit close when they caught, I think it was number 3 of Dale Robertson and 911 John LaBath. They were caught up to David a little faster than they thought they were.
Well, I'll tell you what, Markel Murphy, his pit strategy definitely paid out. He went down a lap before Jeffrey Ford, but now that things are cycling and when the 59 of David White comes down on the pit road, which looks like he is down on pit road, is Markel Murphy's being shown 20 seconds in closing. So Markel Murphy might come away with the lead here with just 21 laps remaining.
And also looking at it right now here, I'm looking at my strategies, comparing the strategy of Jeffrey Ford, previous race leader, and previous race leader 48 Markel Murphy. They have a difference of about 0.6 of a second on their pit stop. So that means Markel had a faster pit stop, 0.6 faster pit stop compared to Jeffrey Ford. And that did make quite a difference. It doesn't sound like too much time, but Paul, I guess at a track like this, it is a lot of time.
Yeah, it's there's somebody's going through the infield, I think.
Oh, gotta try and find the machine. Oh,
that's going to be the 5 of Ashby.
Oh, that's another victim who was claimed by the exit of turn 4. 28 of Roberts as well did get loose off turn 4, same as Jason Ashby right there. His back end just snapped around. He was able to hang on to that machine, get back on the track, and everybody was able to get around him unscratched. Very unfortunate indeed for Jason Ashby, but a very nice save at the same time.
That was a great save, and I'm sure Ron is I don't know if he's cleaning out his shorts or what, but I don't know if you saw him. He came down across the front there and missed him by that much.
Oh, man. That was... Oh, yeah, I just now saw that. Man, that was very close. A very nice save indeed by that 5 of Jason Ashby. And going back up front, the 48 of Murphy has taken the race lead back away from the 95 of Jeffrey Ford this time by the 8, Stephen Aguirre being shown 3rd, Patrick Mercier 4th, and the 5 actually being shown in the 5th place spot. Oh, it looks like he wasn't. Jason Ashby was still able to stay in the top 5 despite making that mistake. Steven Mattox here next to position is being shown about 2 seconds or 1.5 seconds behind Jason Ashby. At the same time, Jason has his next victim in line 1 second ahead of him, the 93 of Patrick Mercier.
You know, Sean, it's going to be interesting. 48, we were talking about Markel, and he must have had a heck of a pit stop to come back out that far in front of Jeffrey. Big question is, you know, is he going to be able to conserve, or is Jeffrey going to wear his tires off trying to catch him? You know, what's going to happen here at the end? it's going to be interesting. I know Markel's
Hey,
really
Dave,
fast,
James,
but he
you want
does
me to come up
have
in the
a
booth
whole
too?
nother, I
Pretty
think,
bored.
25 laps left. Yeah, 25 laps left, and that could make it an interesting race here at the end.
Oh, absolutely would. And right now we do have 15 laps remaining here, Paul, and 111 on lap now 111. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that said, we'll take a quick commercial break so you guys can get your last round of popcorn and refreshments. We'll be right back. So stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Honoring Those Who Served 125 by Sammy Holmes, part of round 12 of the Precision Racing League American iRacing Sunday Series, brought to you by HighTorqueRaces.com and the Brake Mod at thebrakemod.com. We do have High Torque right on your top left of your screen, and the Brake Mod on your top right of your screen as well. You can check them out. So you guys cannot forget top left and top right of the screen. But going back to the race, we now have 9 laps remaining. Marker Murphy still in the lead and has now increased his lead to about 3.4 seconds against the second place driver, 95 Jeffrey Ford. Because last time, before we went commercial break, they were spread at about, let's see, 2.5 seconds. But now that has increased almost over a second. From the last time we last checked on these two drivers. We do have Patrick Mercer being shown 3rd, Steven Aguirre being shown 4th, and Jason Ashby 5th. And now 8 laps remaining. It has been go time for the drivers. 9 drivers on the lead lap this far. Those cautions did catch the drivers had a very, very bad time, and most of the drivers cannot recover because of that. And for the back in the pack, 24, Corey Blevins here being shown behind the 23, or behind the 3 of Dale Robertson, who is getting around the 78 of Ron McManus.
Well, both of these cars are lap cars, so this is not for position. They're for the 24 of Corey Blevins, currently running in 7th. His next car for position will be the 6 of Stephen Maddox. Just about...
Hey, Dave, can I join up in the booth? It's James.
Yeah, that would be right about, let's see, that's, yeah, 6 seconds. So he does have quite a little bit of work to do there if he wants to get that 6th place position away from the 6th of Stephen Mattox. But 6 seconds in 6 laps, that is unheard of. So my guess would be he most likely will be just maintaining that 7th place spot.
Yeah, you know, we were talking about Markel. This is not a long enough run. He's fast, and I don't care how much he wears his tires off. I think at this point, it's unless he makes a mistake, I just don't see Jeffrey reeling him back in. I think he's gonna walk away with the win for this one.
And speaking of Markel, he did lose 2/10 of a second last lap. Oh, actually, yep, 2 more tenths. So 4/10 of a second lost to the 95 of Ford. Last time I checked, they were 3.4 seconds apart, but now it's down to a solid 3 seconds. But yep, at this point, you know, with the speed or the pace of the 48 of Markel Murphy, even though if Jeff Ford continues gaining that much time every single lap, he still won't be able to get to him.
Yeah, for some reason I was thinking it was 135 laps. 100. If it were 135, it might be interesting, but I just don't see him catching him 3 more laps. That's like you were saying earlier. That's the second lap. That's going to be really tough.
Yep, and the caution comes out now, that will end the race. So the drivers right now are racing very hard to try and secure their spots, to secure the spots the best they can, or even defend their positions, so they can be able to maintain the spots they already have, or even improve on that. And as we speak, the 8 of Steven Aguiar is being shown 5 seconds behind the 48 of Markel Murphy. He does have a motor roaring right behind. It's a 13 of Jean-Francois Champagne, and Jean-Francois has had a rough season this season, Paul. He has been involved in almost every single wreck there's been, but tonight it has been different.
Yeah, JF is a pretty good driver too. I think the big thing there that you see is just that bad luck, you know, and that happens. 2 seasons ago, I had really bad luck. I don't even know if I was in the top 10. It was just seemed like every race, and one of them was my fault. The rest of them, you know, you just get caught up in it. But that's part of it. You're gonna have those, and you know, JF's good enough that it'll be interesting to see next year. Again, I think the open setups are really going to throw some monkey wrenches in, and we've got some new recruits that I was looking at that have some pretty high I ratings. So it's going to be interesting to see what the new drivers bring to the table.
Oh, most definitely. We are now on the white flag. 48 Markel Murphy being shown 3.1 seconds ahead of the 95 of Jeffrey Ford. At the same time, Jeffrey does have the 92 of Mercier right behind him, but they are separated by about 0.6 of a second here. So Markel Murphy, Jeffrey Ford, Patrick Mercier, 1, 2, 3 respectively, and they do exit turn 4 this time back for the final time. They will cross start finish line 1, 2, 3 just as they stand. 8 of Steven Aguiar there being shown 2/10 ahead of the 5. Jason Ashby, they're battling here for the position. The 5, Jason Ashby would. Jason Ashby did maintain, take the 4th spot away from the 8 of Aguiar on the exit of turn 4. Nicely done.
That's actually really funny because those two are teammates. So that's funny to hear. They went at it. That's kind of cool.
Absolutely. Wrangler Motorsports for the win. Well, there we have it. 48 Markel here wins tonight's race at Kentucky Speedway for his 3rd win of the season. 95 Jeffrey Ford being shown 2nd, Patrick Mercier 3rd, Jason Ashby 4th, and Steven Aguiar in the 5th place position, where we'll be interviewing the top 3 drivers, Markel Murphy, Jeffrey Ford, and Patrick Mercier. So stay tuned. Right now, the 48 of Markel Murphy burning that sucker down.
Well, thank you, Sean, for letting me broadcast, and I hope it turned out all right. I'm going to jump off here, but have fun with the interviews, and we hope to see you guys next season.
Oh, absolutely, Paul. Thank you for taking the time to come up here. That's not happy that you were involved in an incident there, so you could come up here. But we're glad to have you up here, and man, anytime. Thanks for having us.
All right, we'll see you guys. Thanks for the broadcast.
Unfortunately, won't be able to get communications in with the 93 of Patrick Mercier, but instead we will pull up the 8 of Steven Aguiar. Well, we are joined by our top 3 drivers here. James, we have 48 Markel Murphy, Steven Aguiar, and also Jeffrey Ford, who started tonight's race winner, having his 3rd win of the season. Markel Murphy, get a cup there, buddy.
Yes, sir, I do.
How you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good.
Well, Markel, tonight you did qualify on the pole, and man, as soon as I saw you qualify on the pole tonight, I was like, that is bad news for the rest of the field, because once again, you are known as the fastest driver in the long run here, the Precision Racing League American iRacing Sunday Series, which is very, very impressive. And you have led 76 laps, all behind 125 here tonight, which is also very impressive. But how was your race tonight?
It was a good race altogether. It was good racing all around. Other than the setup getting really tight, about 15 to 17 laps in, can't really complain. It was great racing all around.
Oh, Dan, we're very, very glad to hear that. And tell us about your pit stops tonight, buddy, because we did notice after your first pit stop that you did end up losing the race lead to Jeffrey Ford.
I'm not really sure what happened. I know I got caught a lap. Not quite a lap down, but hit pit road when that caution came out and dropped me to the end. But it was good pit stops all night. Other than me messing up on pit entry, can't complain.
Oh, 10-4, brother. And Markel, you have been an amazing rookie this season. First season with PRL. And man, you have been all over these guys, having 3 wins on your belt just this season. What should we expect to see from you next season, buddy?
Hopefully a way better turnout than what I did this year. Other than missing a couple races and wrecking out more than half of them, I can definitely say next season I plan on not quite putting my behind on my shoulders.
Oh, copy that, buddy. Well, buddy, did do Flat Out Motorsports very proud. Did an amazing job week in and week out. You had a couple of bad races here and there, like Indianapolis and a couple of more. But despite that, you were still all over these drivers, being a very fast driver in the long run, which says a lot about you and showed a lot about you all season long and how much of a great driver you are. I look forward to seeing you again next season, buddy. Now, before I let you go, buddy, any final words?
I just want to thank the guys at PRL for letting me join. You guys for broadcasting and always putting on a good show for us so we can put on a good show for you. And just hoping that we get the same sponsors back, if not more. And I'd like to thank my sponsors, CBS Digital, XS Power, and KRC for coming aboard for next season.
Congratulations, buddy, on your success here tonight and doing Flat Out Motorsports proud. And you are an amazing driver, buddy. It's been fun seeing you as a rookie prosper here with the PRL. And just pretty much give them a run for their money every single week. And look forward to seeing you again back next season for Season 7. Have a good night, buddy. Go celebrate.
Thanks. You guys do the same.
And that was Markel Murphy, tonight's race winner, and that's his 3rd win of the season. And once again, he is a rookie this season and has had a very successful season overall. And look forward to seeing him back again next season with a PRL. Right behind him is a 95 of Jeffrey Ford from 4-Lane Motorsports. Get a cup there, Jeff.
I do, Sean.
How you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good tonight, Sean. Thank you.
Well, Jeff, tonight those cautions just seem to be finding you at a very, very good time. Not only once, but twice. Tell us about your race tonight.
Yeah, I was a little bit fortunate when that first caution came out. I believe I was the last one to pit, and it came out, and I had a half gallon of gas left at the start-finish line, and I limped into the pits as the pace car came by, so I was able to reach my stall, and I think that helped me out quite a bit, trapping a few guys, a few of the faster guys down.
Oh, copy that. And tell us about your tire wear out there, because I did see a couple of drivers tapping the apron every now and then, but some cars were pushing in the turns.
Yeah, well, you know, from my experience, I know Markel was talking about it being tight. My car was actually getting more loose. That's just probably the different driving styles there. So I think it all depends on how the driver likes to drive his car there. I usually drive a little bit more conservatively for the longer run. And as Markel likes a longer run as well, it might have something to do with why we were both closer to the top than the bottom.
Oh, copy that, buddy. And Jeff, this season you have been doing an amazing job. You've had, in my opinion, a better season than you did last season. You've been up front a lot more times than you were last season. And you have had 2 wins, winning at Indianapolis and winning the first race of the season at Daytona. Very, very impressive. And in your book, would that be considered a successful season, or do you think there's anything you have to work on?
Nah, I'd consider this season a success for Ford Lane Motorsports. My buddy Colton, he's in the top 5. I think with this finish here, I may be in the top 5. I'm not certain because I missed last week because I didn't know we were racing. But I think both of us were in the top 5, so I consider the season a success for both of us. And the consistency was there, and we can only improve on probably our qualifying times, our starts.
Oh, 10-4, buddy. And looking at your team right now, the team championship standings, your team was being shown second behind Flat Out Motorsports starting tonight's race. Very, very impressive, buddy. It's been good seeing you grow every single season, getting nothing but better, getting high, which is the right way to go. And look forward to seeing you get even better. And maybe your wishes come true, you qualifying on the point, having better pit stops like you talked about for next season. But before you go, final words.
No, just thank you guys for broadcasting. Thanks to Jerome, Chris, and all the guys at PRL for putting the show on here. It's not just one person. It's a fantastic league, and for anyone else out there watching, this is our last race of the season, and we'll be holding some races to add more drivers. PRL is a great place to race. It was my first league that I ever raced in, and I can't thank them enough for allowing me to be in the league here.
Well, Jeffrey, congratulations once again on your success this season, doing Ford Lane Motorsports proud. Look forward to seeing you once again back next season to spank these guys and make them enjoy your tail-light decals. Well, buddy, see you again in 2 weeks. Have a good night.
Thank you, Sean. Have a good night.
And that was Jeffrey Ford tonight, second place finisher with Ford Lane Motorsports right behind him. Here finishing in the 5th place position is the 8 of Steven Aguiar, representing Wrangler Motorsports. Get a cup there, Steven.
10-4, what's going on, Sean?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good.
Well, buddy, it seems like it has been too long from the last time we spoke with you. Well, tell us about your race tonight.
Race overall was pretty good. Car in the middle of a long run started getting tight. People used more brake and went for the ride. Try to save conservative my tires and try to be there in the end.
Oh, Dan. Tell us about you and your teammate there on the exit of turn 4 on the last lap.
Yeah, he's closer in points, and I wanted to cross the finish line with him. And so I gave him that position, and that's it. You know, and it was an up and down season for us, but overall, you know, towards the end of the season, we came back strong.
Oh, copy that. And Steven, this season you have been doing an amazing job. You have had a couple of ups and downs here and there. And with that said, do you think there's anything you need to work on to brush up on that for next season?
The only thing I need to work on is more consistent up front. Stay up there.
Oh, copy that, buddy. Well, I want to congratulate you on your success this season, Steven. It has been nice. It has been amazing seeing you grow and spank these drivers here week in and week out. Didn't matter whether or not you were up front, mid-pack, rear pack, you were battling these guys the best that you could, and that did show in your driving style and finishing stats every single week. And starting tonight's race, you did get back here in the top 10. Very, very impressive. Oh, but before I let you go in final words.
Yes, sir. I want to thank my team, Team Wrangler, my teammate Jason Ashby, and also congratulate the 48 on his win, and also James on the championship. And thanks to all the guys at PRL and the men and the women that serve our country, and can't wait for next season. Thank you all, and thank you guys for broadcasting.
Well, congratulations on your success this season, as we look forward to seeing you again back for season number 7. Go celebrate, buddy, and see you back in 2 weeks.
Thank you, guys.
And that was Steven Aguiar representing Wrangler Motorsports, but we now have a special guest up here that's who just came back from deployment last week. Sammy Holmes representing Jet Mechanic Motorsports, and tonight's race sponsors were honoring those who served 125. Get a cup there, Sammy.
Hey, I got you, Sean. How you doing, bud?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing outstanding. A lot of fun tonight.
Oh man, it was a lot of fun indeed. We did have a lot of fun calling it. Just watching you guys battle every single time, every single turn on the track. But how's your race tonight?
My race was really good, actually. I had a lot of fun. Ran really well in practice. Got out on the track and purposely on pit road there at the start, just kind of moved over because I wanted to be in the very back just to let things sort out, and it played right into my hand. I had a really good car on the long run. Short run, I was garbage. I was just getting eaten up, but on the long run, it seemed like I was wheeling everybody back in. I was right next to the 24 pretty much the entire race. Him and I were going back and forth. It seemed like every couple of laps, he would pit early, get out in front of me. I would pit early, get out in front of him. We were just going back and forth. It was really fun there. Him and I were just talking. I brushed the wall like ever so slightly coming off of 4. Didn't do a lot of damage. I only had like 5 seconds worth of repairs, but it was just enough that the car got super tight on that last run, and he just walked away from me after that. But before that, it was really fun. A lot of fun tonight.
Oh, Tenfo, I can only imagine, Sammy, and man, it did look amazing from your point of view as well. And Sammy, you know, you were deployed, and I honestly had figured that you would be a lot more rusty since you hadn't raced in a long time. But were you practicing? Because it seemed as though you were not that rusty at all.
I did a little bit of practice this week just on my own. I actually been rebuilding my computer all weekend, so I've had like the last 3 days I haven't been doing anything but just rebuilding my machine. But yeah, I did a little bit of practice today, and then a 2-hour practice right there before the race, and then our little 20-minute practice before the actual race itself. So I did have a little bit of seat time, and Kentucky's always been one of those tracks I've always enjoyed. Ever since PRL, we've run the trucks here back in the day, like when seasons 2, 3, and 4, somewhere around there. And I really enjoy Kentucky. It's just one of my favorite tracks here in Kansas. Probably 2 of my favorite places to run at with any car, pretty much.
Oh, 10-4, Sammy. Well, but it has been awesome seeing you race here with the PRL this season for season number 6. And Sammy, I know you have missed a lot of races due to your deployment. But man, speaking of just comparing your luck from last season versus this season, you know, last season you were on your roof more times than you were on your 4 wheels. Would you say that this season has been better than last?
Yeah, you know, it was a good season. Even though I was only here for a few races, I think I only made like 5 races this season, which I knew coming into it that I was going to miss some due to deployment, and I also moved. I was getting restationed from Florida to Washington, so had to move cross country. So there's a lot of things that played into this season particularly, but last season was pretty rough. I was on my roof quite a bit. Probably flipped more times last season than I have in my entire iRacing career. So I was happy to get that season behind me. Did a teammate swap this season. Lance and I have been teammates for all the previous seasons, but I didn't want to take away from his chance at winning a team championship this season by me not being here for 5, 6, 7, 8 races or whatever. So we felt that it was best that we just split up. That way he could get a partner that would be here the entire season and go for the team championship. But other than that, yeah, the season was great. The few times Eddie and I ran together, we always have good chemistry. Eddie and I have been good friends forever. But just running with all the guys at PRL, I tell you, some of these guys, we've been around all 6 seasons together. Some of the guys that have been around only 2 or 3 seasons, they really gelled in with the older guys and really have, you know, just really become a part of the team here at PRL. It's really fun to race with these guys week in and week out.
Oh, most definitely, man. It's good to see you coming back here every single week. You know, even though you missed a couple of races this season, it was still good seeing you every single race that you had showed up for were able to make. And you were the sponsor of tonight's race, honoring those who served 125. We also had a chance to speak about your paint scheme. Very, very nice, well-dressed machine out there with that Apache helicopter on the hood. Want to tell us a little bit about the paint scheme?
Yeah, you know, I dabbled in paint a little bit, and I know we got quite a few painters here in our league. My buddy Thomas, he does all of my paints. You can find him on Trading Paints at Paul iRacing, or excuse me, Paul48 iRacing is his email if you want to look him up. But also you can find him on Trading Paints. Thomas Sink is his name. He does a fantastic job on all my paints. Anytime I ever request a paint from him, he comes through with something above and beyond anything that I'm asking him to do. And it was no different with this paint scheme here. I told him I wanted something special to honor all the troops. I'm in the military, but I really wanted to honor those who had served before us. And given the day that I was coming home from deployment, I asked the PRL guys to move this race so that I could be a part of it, because I really wanted to be here for this race. Just honoring those who have served any country, any military for that matter. Some of those who have given the ultimate sacrifice and laid it all on the line for their country. I just wanted to give back to those folks and represent them well here tonight. And I think PRL did a great job of that. It was a fantastic race. Everybody had some really good looking paint schemes out there. Jason Ashby had a great scheme on that I saw. Stephen Aguiar had a good scheme on. Lance Marsh. That's just some of the people that I was around throughout the race that I saw had some really great tribute schemes on to honor the men and women who served their country. So it was really nice. And yeah, like I said, my car was no different. Thomas, he asked me what I wanted. I found a couple of pictures online of some really sweet looking cars that were painted up with these murals and things like that on them. And he did a fantastic job putting this together for me. I couldn't wait to run it.
Oh, 10-4. Well, buddy, we are glad to see you back here for tonight's race and also last week's race. Texas Motor Speedway. It's always good to see you, buddy, doing Jet Mechanic Motorsports Prime. Look forward to seeing you again next season for season number 7 with your teammate. I'm not sure if you're going to keep the same teammate or having a change of teammates, but it's going to be interesting to find that out and see you racing every week. Hopefully, I see you every single race. And buddy, once again, congratulations on your success. Look forward to seeing you again next season. Have a good night.
Hey, thanks guys, appreciate it. Thanks PRL, all the staff. Congrats to James, Markel, and Corey on their championship points there. And thanks again to Dre Broadcasting for you guys doing this. This is gonna be our third season with you all, and it's been fantastic with you guys. Always enjoy watching, and when I'm not racing or coming up and helping out in the booth when I'm on my lid.
10-4. Well, but congratulations and have a good night. Go celebrate.
Thanks, Blid.
And that was the 4 of Sammy Holmes, and we now have our season standings champion. I would say the season 6 champion. That would be the correct term. Yep, season 6 champion, who was also the season 4 champion, 88, of James O'Brien. Gonna come up there, James?
Yes, sir.
Well, James, we have spoken to you, I should say, almost every single week that we've broadcast here at the Precision Racing League. That just goes to show how much of an amazing driver you are, finishing 1, 2, 3 in almost every single race possible. But tell us about your race here tonight. I know it didn't really have the best ending, but tell us about everything that happened before the incident.
Well, I didn't qualify as well as I wanted to, so I thought, you know what, I'd just kind of take it easy all race, and then I got caught a lot down, and that didn't put me back behind a little bit more too. And that was really it. I didn't really race long enough to kind of make a dent or anything, but I was just trying to figure out the car. It was real tight and uncomfortable to drive, so I just couldn't get used to it. Everything I did, it just made it worse or didn't make it any better. So I was kind of just holding on to it, just hoping I could just kind of finish the race, but unfortunately Paul lost control and I got caught in a bad situation there. But luckily I had enough gap in points to Corey that I didn't have to worry too much, but I was still kind of angry over it just because I wanted to finish, didn't have a car intact, but it is what it is.
Oh, absolutely, buddy. We are very sorry to hear about that, but you have done the most important thing here, James. You've taken back what was rightfully yours to begin with, the championship this season, season number 6. Well, buddy, what contributed to your success this season? Because you had 7 poles and 5 top 5s. Also, not forgetting those 2 wins that you've had this season despite the heavy competition. How were you able to pull that off?
I think consistency. Honestly, I think last season I kind of didn't concentrate as well as I could have. And the season before that, I kind of went in as hard as I could, knowing that I was new here and I wanted to prove myself. So the next season I kind of had like a little sophomore slump, as you would call it, I guess. This year I was kind of changed my habits a little bit more and went back to what I used to do. What I'm good at is kind of just like waiting to strike and not just always being in the lead all the time, just kind of strategizing more so, kind of like at Road America when I had that funky pit strategy. I'm hoping I can do that in the future too, but I just haven't had as much time to play iRacing as I used to. So that's kind of showing in my results. I haven't been able to do any racing on here except for this league every week. I barely make the practices, so there's some weeks where I struggle, or you may see that I'll struggle more at other tracks because I haven't had the time to put in like the other drivers here, and they're catching up. There's a lot of drivers that are real quick here. Markel's one of them, Dale, Robertson, Jeffrey Ford for sure. Like they're learning quick, so I better hold on tight because I don't know what to expect next season.
Oh, 10-4, buddy. Well, man, it has been nice seeing you take what was rightfully yours to begin with. Once again, that championship away from the one of Dallas Pataska, and it will be interesting to see exactly what the guys have in store for you next season. Hopefully you will be able to maintain it. And it has been just amazing seeing you racing week in and week out, just pretty much racing every single week. You know, you're always battling, you're front runner, just like I talked about in the beginning. We're always interviewing you up here, finishing 1, 2, 3 towards the end of the races, and it has been very, very good to see. So what do you think would be the most necessary changes that need to be made from you in order to keep the success or keep this momentum up?
With my teammates next year, kind of brainstorm on setups more, because I didn't know we were doing full open setup next year, but I'm okay with that. I like open setups. Kind of devote a little bit more time to iRacing. I think I can. I just work a lot lately, so that should be cooling down a little bit soon. But I don't know. Just just kind of partner up with my teammates and talk things over. It proves that Dale Robertson, who devoted so much time to his setup last race, it paid dividends, and me 2 hours on a setup. I mean, it may have looked fast, but there were some issues with it. So hopefully next season is as good as this one.
Well, but I congratulate you once again on your success this season, taking back that championship away from Dallas Pataska. It did belong to you to begin with, and now it's back in your hands. I look forward to you defending it against the Hungry Lions next season, because we'll be having some more new drivers, recruitments coming in. So we hope that things still do work out in your favor next season. But it has been nice seeing you grow every single season, despite your mistakes. Every now and then you still pull through those and see the bigger picture and take the championship just like you have done once again, or yet again. Very, very impressive. Oh, but any final words?
Just thanks you guys for broadcasting. Congratulations to Markel, and welcome back to Sammy. Glad he's home safe. That's pretty much it.
Well, buddy, you did Underdog Motorsports proud, and look forward to seeing you again next season. Go celebrate, buddy, and see you again in 2 weeks.
See you guys.
And that was the season champion, the new champion, season 6 champion of the PRL American iRacing Sunday Series, James O'Brien, representing Underdog Motorsports. But right behind him is the 24 of Corey Blevins, who hasn't had the best season. He was involved in a lot of incidents for the most part, but despite that, he still was able to pull off a second place finish in the point standings behind his biggest opponent, James O'Brien. Get a call up there, Corey.
Yes, sir.
How you doing tonight?
Doing fine. Tonight was a struggle. I'm going to be honest there. I struggled in practice, struggled in qualifying. I did not expect to finish 7th place tonight, to be honest. So I'm really happy to come out with that result, despite, everything that had happened, practice, qualifying. And it was just a really tight car tonight all the way around. So, but, all season long, it's just the results add up over time, and I think that's just what bit me in the end, and not being able to win the championship over James. It's just small mistakes like Texas, and Texas I was leading and wrecked in the league. So just small mistakes like that end up costing me in the end.
Yeah, we're very, very sorry to hear about that, Corey. But man, it's still good to see you hold these guys off for the most part. I mean, you had the drivers like 48 of Markel, 5 Jason Ashley, Patrick Mercier, Jeffrey Ford. These guys and a lot more drivers I haven't even talked about. John LaBeouf, Danny Duchesne, Lance Marsh. These guys were hungry for that second place spot, also the championship, the first place position, and you were still able to hold them off. So, despite you having your ups and downs, more in this case, I believe more downs than ups, you were still able to still keep these guys behind you by seeing the bigger picture and just pretty much being determined to get the job done despite what the track had thrown your way. But man, it has been very good seeing you grow as well, just like everybody else this season. And with that said, any change that you think you need to make in order to maybe increase your chances for next season?
I think I need to work with my teammate a little bit better, Markel. It's going to be open setup next season, so hopefully we can work together and build us some good setups for next season. It's great to win the team championship with him. I knew picking him for a teammate we would do really well together, and it showed all season. We're pretty much, we would either both finish well or one of us would finish well, and that would accumulate, team points. So I think just working with him and a little bit more and trying to get, since it's going to be open setup since season, just working a little bit more towards that goal of possibly getting a driver's championship as well.
Oh, copy that. And with that said, also want to congratulate you and your teammate Markel Murphy for winning the team championship. Flat Out Motorsports coming out first of 16 teams, which is very, very impressive. And absolutely, yep, next season open setups will really change things up and will really bring into play the team strategies and just pretty much the team racing that has been brought before us here at the Precision Racing League this season and previous seasons, last season and the season before that. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see exactly what you guys have in store for us. But Corey, has been good once again seeing you pull through your bad times by seeing the bigger picture and keeping these drivers behind you for the long run in points here and making them enjoy the view of your tail lights. Very, very impressive. What about before I let you go in final words?
Yeah, just thank you all for the broadcast. Thanks to Precision Racing League for, just putting everything out, the sponsors. And, I'm glad Sammy's back home safe as well. And, it's been a great season, and I'll look forward to the next.
Well, buddy, congratulations once again on your success, and look forward to seeing you again in the next upcoming 2 weeks. Well, buddy, go get that practice, go celebrate. It has been an amazing season on your part, and I look forward to seeing you back with even more momentum to take it away from 88 of James O'Brien for next season. Have a good night, buddy, and go celebrate.
All right, thanks, guys.
And that was Corey Blevins with Flat Out Motorsports. And Flat Out Motorsports does win the team championship. Very, very nicely done. James O'Brien, Corey Blevins, Markel Murphy, 1, 2, 3 in points. We want to congratulate these drivers. I also want to congratulate every single driver for making this quite an amazing season. It was Battlefield, a lot of green flag pit stops, a lot of side-by-side racing, a lot of ups and downs for some drivers, but every single one was still able to pull through that. And just goes to show how respectful Dave, that these drivers, how respectful they are towards each other. It just has been amazing to see a lot of rear pack runners come to mid pack, and some mid pack runners start becoming front runners. It has been an amazing season overall, Dave.
Yeah, most definitely. Couple seasons now we've been with Precision Racing League. Glad that they brought us on here to broadcast their races, showcase all the talent that these drivers have. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, before we sign off for tonight, I want to tell you, if this is a series that you feel like you would like to run, definitely go to their website, www.precisionracingleague.com. Sign up. They will be holding recruitment races the next couple of weeks here before the start of Season 7. You will have to race your way in and earn a seat here for the season. So, once again, get to their website, www.precisionracingleague.com. Get signed up, and hopefully we'll see you on the track for Season 7.
And thank you once again also for joining us every single week, ladies and gentlemen. We brought you live coverage for the Precision Racing League American iRacing Sunday Series, brought to you by HighTorqueTexas.com and the Brake Mod at thebrakemod.com. Also want to give a big shout out to the sponsors, the season sponsors, thebrakemod.com and HighTorqueTexas.com. Once again, top left of your screen and top right of your screen. I also want to thank Sammy Holmes for sponsoring tonight's race, honoring those who served 125. That was once again by Sammy Holmes here tonight at Kentucky Speedway. An amazing race indeed. We'll be back again with Precision Racing League for season number 7 on July 30th in 2 weeks. July 30th at Daytona International for season 7 open. I also want to thank the Precision Racing League for having Dre Broadcasting on board for the last couple of seasons. It has been an amazing journey with them, and we are glad that we will be continuing it with them. Seeing new drivers get in here and just pretty much bringing you live coverage. Also on the portal, I also want to thank iRacing for giving us the chance to be live on the iRacing portal. And if you guys like what you saw tonight and like this type of racing, don't forget to check out Dre Broadcasting Network on YouTube, youtube.com/Dre Broadcast Network. And if you don't forget to subscribe, because when you subscribe, you do get notified every single time we go live, and we are live 6 nights a week. So you guys do have unlimited entertainment coming to you live. Different leagues, different drivers, different machines, and different tracks. Everything's different except for the excitement. The level stays high and gets nothing but higher every single race. Well, here tonight, once again, I am Sean Zulu and Dave Everly behind the cameras. Thank you for joining us. The next broadcast will be tomorrow night with the Extreme Motorsports 99 K&N Series for the race entitled the Alpha 250 at Auto Club Speedway. Once again, Extreme Motorsports 99 Pro K&N Series. Well, once again, thank you for joining us. I'm Sean Zulu and Dave Everly behind the cameras, and have a good night.